we will move on to melody writing on page 29 in the Level 2 Supplemental Workbook. What I want to show you here is the workbook and the answer book pages. Students are composing and learning about motive, repetition, and sequence. And although each student's compositions will be different, in the answer book you will see one possible answer, and it's written right in the answer book. And this is simply an example of what is expected for an answer. So it's just really a guideline. And I have on occasion when my students maybe really are struggling with this, I may even show them my answer book and I'll say, well, this is what it's going to look like. Now you're going to write your own, but at least you kind of have a clue what it's going to look like. And for some of them, they find that really helpful. So all of the answer books are complete. And when there's more than one option, it simply will say one possible answer. Now it's time to connect musicians. Now that's the fun part. You can even do this with your student as, one lesson ends and another one begins. Just overlap the lessons for 5 minutes. Now, I often have my theory club students explore composition at the same time and then trade places. So one's up in the upper register and the lower, and then they trade places and then they do it again. So I want you to listen as we are going to connect two musicians. So today we've been learning about the root quality chord symbols, and now we're going to play them. So Sophia, you're going to play them, right? And we're just going to pick 4 of them. So we're going to play C chord, D minor, F major, and G. And you're going to give each one of those just 2 beats. And Jillian, you're going to play a little melody and just move by step or by skip. So we're just going to do a little improvising here, a little composing, improvising. Okay, so Sophia, you start us off with just 1 chord each, and then Jillian, you're going to join her, okay? Sitting up beautiful and tall, and we're going to just pretend we are solas today, and Sola loves to add sparkles. So make sure you're smiling when you're adding your sparkles in. Beautiful. Give each other a high five. That was so good. The second powerful teaching technique is implement. To implement or implementation means the realization of an application or the execution of an idea. The various skills of a music educator include connecting with students and helping them successfully implement the lesson learned. Now, this, of course, begins with the quality of instruction, that's us, and improvement of our students' performance through implementation. Implement music theory. Now, you may want to jot this down. There are 5 ways to implement music theory. 1, singing or performing on instruments alone or with others. 2, improvising melodies, variations, and accompaniments. 3, composing and arranging music within specific guidelines. 4, reading and notating music. 5, listening to, analyzing, evaluating music and music performances, and by understanding relationships between music in relation to music history and culture. Now it's time to implement music theory. So listen as my daughter Sherry is singing and playing the keys, and she's jamming this and using only root quality chord symbol charts. So this is what they do in the professional leagues. Of course, that's why we have to know root quality chord symbol charts. And here are these fine musicians performing in Las Vegas. So listen for the violin, the trumpet, the piano, the bass guitar, the saxophone, the drums, and the rhythm guitar.
Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, shake it back, come on, baby,
I think our next conference should be in Las Vegas. It's one of my entertainment capital of the world. Now it's time to implement the music lesson. So when we implement music lessons, at Ultimate Music Theory, we got you covered. And we have created your free resources, making it easy for you to start teaching the new curriculum and supplemental workbook series right now. So simply go to ultimatemusictheory.com, free resources, and then click on the Music Theory Overview. Now here you're going to see a list of each level. So in the level 2 supplemental workbooks, you'll find all the resources for the listening activities. One of the listening activities is in the level 2 workbook on music theory, and you will learn about Mozart and his life and his music. And one of the listening activities is the 12 variations on Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Now, under the free resources, you will find the music, and this is just a convenient reference along with other listening guides for you. And as you're completing this exercise, have your workbook out, just go to Ultimate Music Theory and to the free resources. And here we've put together the YouTube videos for you, whatever links you need. You know, it's really time consuming to go and find something that is appropriate and will fit with the exercise. So we just wanted to make it super easy for you. And now you can take your workbook and simply check off all of the correct answers as you are listening to the music of Mozart. Implement music history. Now listen as Jillian shares a few things about Mozart. So Jillian, today we are learning about young Mozart. So Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. That's quite an interesting name, isn't it?
Very.
So what can you tell me about Mozart?
So Mozart started taking piano lessons when he was only 4 years old, and then he composed his first ever piece when he was 5 years old. And that is actually the same as me. I started taking piano lessons when I was 4 years old, and I composed my first piece when I was 5.
Very cool. And so what is one of Mozart's pieces that you think is kind of cool and you could play for me?
My personal favorite is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Which is cool because that's the one we're learning about in the book. So can you play that one for me?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thanks.
What's kind of interesting is that when we sing the alphabet song, we actually use Twinkle Twinkle Little Star to do the alphabet song. And I think we should maybe do something cool and sing the alphabet song with the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Does that work? Okay, let's try it.